Okay, we are now live and on the record for Tuesday afternoon's criminal docket, April 5th, 2022. Mr. Ramos, what do you have? Attorney Juan Ramos?
Good afternoon, Judge. I'm here on behalf of, I previously had a victim testimony case, and it's on behalf of Julio Castillo.
Okay, do you know what number this is on the court's docket?
I apologize, Judge. I was in another hearing right now.
28, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
28, Your Honor.
Okay. So that is CR 21-10463-I, State of Texas versus Julio Luis Castillo. Mr. Castillo, are you present?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Lozano, what are we doing on this today?
Your Honor, I haven't been in contact with the victim. She called my office this morning, but I need to return the call to discuss the case with her.
Okay, so then, Mr. Ramos, the alleged victim has finally contacted the ADA. However, because we were in docket, he was unavailable to contact him. So do you want me to just give you a quick reset or?
Yes, Your Honor, if we can just get a quick reset, I know we'll get everything taken care of.
Okay. I have, let me see, what is it? The 26th? Do we still have room on the 26th? Because it'll be victim testimony. Is that what it will be?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so we can do that via Zoom. So,
The 26 works for us, Judge.
okay, Mr. Rivera, we have room? Okay. Then, Mr. Castillo, we'll come back on April 26th at 9:30, sir, and hopefully we can get that done at that time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor. May we please be excused?
Yes, you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Orozco, Attorney Damian Orozco.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is number 27 on your criminal docket. It's a State of Texas versus Miriam Andrea Vallejo, CR 19-13622I, Your Honor. And I believe that the state has an announcement, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor, this case has been dismissed. The defendant has completed the ADR.
Okay, then as soon as the dismissal is forwarded to me, I'll go ahead and sign off on it, Mr. Orozco.
Thank you, Your Honor. And just for the matter of housekeeping in reference, if the state would also consider the same recommendation on the other two co-defendants, and I'll call them on that, Your Honor. Thank you, Judge. I do have another case before you today, Your Honor. It's also an announcement, number 30 on the criminal docket. That's State of Texas versus Samuel Torres, CR 19-09718I, Your Honor.
Okay, Samuel Torres, are you present? Samuel Torres? Okay, I don't have anybody by that name. Do you want an opportunity to contact him?
Your Honor, I was going to advise the court that we have made efforts, Your Honor, to contact him, and he has not responded to our phone calls, Your Honor.
Okay. What's the last action that was happening with that case?
Yes, Your Honor. On this particular case, Your Honor, there was a recommendation. The only thing that was pending was for him to take care of his tickets. Your Honor was graceful enough to give us several continuances, Your Honor. I don't believe that he had ultimately paid the last one, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, and then that, is he still PTD eligible, Mr. Lozano?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, well, before I drop the hammer on him, I guess we'll go ahead and see if you can contact him. If he doesn't show up by the end of the docket, I will have to NISI him.
I will make another effort. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, but let's go ahead and come back on him. I'm gonna do a status
Yes,
hearing
Your Honor.
with respect to that. And that status hearing will be on, is it May the 4th, I believe?
Yes, Your Honor.
No, what's that Tuesday, May the 3rd?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, May 3rd at 9:30.
9:30, and that would be via Zoom, Your Honor?
At this time, yes, but we don't know yet till after April 12th.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you so very much, Your Honor. And that concludes my business, Your Honor. May I be excused?
You certainly may.
Thank you, Judge. Be safe.
Thank you. Mr. Kennedy?
Good morning, Your Honor. I have two cases before you this morning, and I'm sorry, afternoon, and I just misplaced the docket that I had the numbers on. Oh, I have number 29, Judge, Mr. Michael Perez. That's the one.
CR 20-00712-I, Michael Kevin Bettis is Mr. Bettis present?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what is the announcement?
Judge, he missed his last court sitting, Your Honor, and he contacted me and we're asking the court to set aside the judgment in eyesight today, Your Honor.
Okay, so is Ms. Saldana present? Have you spoken to Ms. Saldana with respect to this case?
It's been a while, but the last court setting, she asked what we wanted to do, and we had talked, there was a felony pending, and we were just talking about resetting the case, but I haven't talked to her about the NICI recall.
Okay, now the NICI recall, because he's here, I'll go ahead and grant it. Mr. Lozano, do you see if there's a felony pending on Mr. Bettis?
Let me check, Your Honor.
I don't have that in my notes.
Yes, Your Honor, there is a felony that's pending. It is currently set for, it doesn't have a future setting.
Okay,
I'm sorry if I may speak. I don't have the little button. but,
Okay.
You're
Hold
good,
on.
Michael. We'll talk later.
Mr. Bettis, you're
Okay.
not, only if your attorney allows you.
Okay.
Okay, so, Mr. Kennedy, then what do you want your next setting to be? Because I need to know if you're going to, well, you're gonna wait to see what happens with the felony or what?
Yes, I don't even think there's been an arraignment date on that case yet.
Okay. Then we'll go ahead and set him up for a status on June the 21st at 9:30.
Judge, if I may,
Yes,
he's also on number one for an arraignment.
okay. Will you be representing him on that second assault causing bodily injury?
Judge, I was court appointed to represent him on this one. I don't think I've received an appointment on the other case, Judge.
Okay, CR 22-00794-I. Mr. Bettis, do you have any objection for me to appoint Mr. Patrick Kennedy on the second assault so the cases can stay together?
No, ma'am.
Okay, the court is going to appoint Patrick Kennedy. All right, Mr. Bettis, please raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You may lower your hand in CR 22-00794-I, State of Texas versus Michael Kevin Bettis. Is that your true and correct name, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
You're being charged with assault causing bodily injury on a family member, a Class A misdemeanor. A Class A misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 1 year in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction. Do you understand the range of punishment that you can receive, sir, for the offense of which you are charged?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
No, ma'am.
Counselor, in speaking with your client, do you find him mentally competent and able to assist you in his own defense?
I do.
The court will find that Mr. Bettis is competent, able to assist his attorney in his own defense, and hereby enters a plea of not guilty on his behalf. And I'll go ahead and set that one also for June the 21st at 9:30 so that they can stay together.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay,
The only other issue I had before the court this morning was your court's bailiff was kind enough to add a case onto the docket of Mr. Severo Salas. I didn't get a docket number for him, Your Honor.
okay. I don't know. Did you give him a docket number, Mr. Damien, or?
Yes, Judge, he's number 24.
Okay. All right, Mr. Bettis, you are excused. Contact your attorney if you had any questions after this hearing. If not, we'll see you on June the 21st, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. CR 207058-I, Severo Salas. Is Mr. Salas present?
I saw there was a user.
I am, ma'am. I am.
Okay,
Yes,
what
Your
is the
Honor.
announcement, counselor?
Judge, on this case, Mr. Salas has a motion to revoke. There is currently a capias out because the revocation was filed. So he's presenting himself to the court today to turn himself in to satisfy the capias, and we're requesting that the court would set a bond on the motion to revoke, Your Honor.
Okay, anything from the state?
Yes, Your Honor, the state can agree to a 2,000 cash surety bond, a drug patch, and 30 days AIP. On both cases, he has the possession of marijuana, and he also has a burglary of vehicles.
What's the
That's fine,
case
Judge. We
number?
can agree to that.
What's the case number on the burglary of vehicles?
CR 17-14464I.
Okay, then that'll be so ordered. So, Mr. Salas, what is your phone number?
My phone number, ma'am, is 956-971-7532.
Okay, the probation department will contact you at their earliest convenience to give you instructions on how to get that drug patch put on and how to satisfy the conditions for AIP, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And Judge, what about the capias? Do you want him to turn himself in, anything like that?
What is the state requiring on that? Are they physically having to come in, or can I just go ahead and?
Your Honor, my understanding is that they have to physically go in and get booked and then post bond.
That's my understanding as well, Mr. Kennedy.
Yeah, that's what I thought, Judge. You want him to turn himself in today? What would you like for me to instruct him to do?
It's on him. I mean, there's a KPS out, so I'm assuming the sooner that he gets in, the sooner he gets out. I would think that you're going to instruct him to make sure that since he has a 2,000 cash surety, that he has arrangements for that.
Yes, Judge. Is it possible, Judge, that since the paperwork needs to go through this afternoon, that we can have him turn himself in first thing in the morning?
That's fine with me. He just needs to be careful.
Yes, Judge. I'll instruct him that.
Okay. Anything else?
No, Your Honor, that's all I have today. Maybe excused.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Salas, you're excused as well.
Oh, wait, Judge. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Did you want to put a reset date on this motion to revoke?
Oh, thank you. Yes. How much time do you need?
I think we're waiting for, it's going to be a misdemeanor assault, so you'll be seeing it, but I'm not sure how long it'll take to get filed. So maybe 60 days or so.
Okay.
Kennedy, right now it's showing as a felony assault, F3.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do June the 21st at 9:30.
Judge, if I may,
Go ahead.
for clarification, Your Honor, it was a $2,000 PR bond on each case with AIP as a condition for 30 days, correct?
No,
It's a $2,000 cash surety,
Surety. And then
AIP condition for 30 days, and a drug patch.
Okay, thank you very much.
Did I miss anything, Mr. Lozano?
no, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. And anything else on Mr. Salas?
No, Your Honor, and nothing else on my behalf either.
Okay, y'all have a good day.
You too, Judge. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Osuna, what do you have?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. We have number 14 and 15. Those are CR 20-01047I and CR 20-01048I, both styled State of Texas versus Waylon Everett Nichols. Your Honor, Mr. Nichols has a felony setting on April 27th. We're humbly asking for a date after that date, please.
Okay, Deputy, do you have Mr. Nichols in your?
Yes, ma'am. He's right here.
Okay, so he has a felony setting on April the 27th. And Mr. Lozano, anything to add?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, then we'll see shortly after. We can see what's going to happen. What May 3rd at 1:30?
Thank you, Your Honor.
May 3rd. Yes, sir.
Okay, anything else? I know you have a plea, but do you have any other short announcements?
Well, yes, Your Honor. I don't know if that plea, so this is not a failure of the state. We received partial paperwork from indigent, but we did not receive paperwork on 2 of the cases. So I was not able to deliver that to Mr. Lozano until this morning. So I don't know if if those cases are going to be ready, because I know that there's limitations with pleas entered that quickly in advance.
I understand, Mr. Lozano.
Your Honor, the state's ready.
Okay, yes, Your
So
Honor. I'll stand by.
we'll be able to take it up.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'll be with you shortly. Okay, Mr. Jackson, you have a plea, correct?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. Just a plea whenever you're ready.
And is Mr. Mendiola in your office, or will he be appearing via Zoom?
Via Zoom, Your Honor.
Okay, I don't see him on unless he's the Zoom user.
Oh, let me reach out to him right now, Judge, if I can have 1 minute.
Sure, go ahead, because we're going to
Okay.
get ready to line those up.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, and Mr. Vega, what do you have, Mr. Vega?
Okay, hold on a second. I'm sorry.
Mr. Vega, do you have a plea or?
Judge, I have a contested divorce. We're kind of in the middle of it.
On
I
my
think-
docket?
Yeah, I think it was today. He's in jail. Is that why we're set
Oh,
today?
that's right. That's right.
Number 2, Your
that
Honor.
was Guillermo Sanchez, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right, then I'll take you up on that shortly.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So I know number 3 was reset. Ms. Arispe, what do you have?
Judge, I have number 23. It's a DWI. There was a NISA because he did not show up to his arraignment, Judge, but he also picked up a misdemeanor assault. That one has already been assigned a case number, Judge. I don't know, and he is sitting in county jail, so I don't know if the court wants me to file waivers or if the court wants to arraign him on both cases.
Okay, Moises Venegas, deputy, please. What is the?
He's a Spanish speaker.
Okay, what is the case number?
The new case number, Judge, is 22-03165.
And you said that that was a what? Assault?
Class A assault, yes.
On a family member?
Yes, that's what it's showing, Judge. Actually, it's just a straight assault, but it is a family member.
Okay. So I can go ahead and arraign him on both of these right now. Ms. Castañeda, Mr. Venegas is Spanish speaking. Will you, deputy, if you can unmute the
Yes, ma'am.
microphone, please? Okay, Ms. Castañeda, please ask him to raise his right hand.
Por favor, levanta su mano derecha.
Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Jura que el testimonio que está a punto de dar es la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad. Yes.
He may lower his hand.
¿Puede bajar su mano?
In CR 21-09759-I and in CR 22-03165-I, the state of Texas versus Moises Venegas. Is that your true and correct name, sir?
En el estado de Texas se encuentra Moisés Venegas. ¿Ese es su nombre correcto y verdadero? Yes.
You are being charged with driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor, and also an assault, a Class A misdemeanor. A Class B misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 6 months in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction. A Class A misdemeanor carries up to 1 year in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction. Do you understand the range of punishment that you can receive, sir, for the offenses of which you are charged?
Mr. Venegas, está usted frente a la corte por un cargo de manejar en estado de ebriedad y un cargo de asalto causa lesiones corporales a un miembro de familia. Un caso es una ofensa menor clase B, el otro caso es una ofensa menor clase A. Una ofensa menor clase B tiene una multa potencial de hasta 6 meses en la cárcel del condado de Hidalgo y hasta una multa de hasta $2,000 por convicción. Una ofensa menor clase A tiene una multa potencial de hasta 1 año en la cárcel del condado de Hidalgo y una multa de hasta $4,000 por convicción. ¿Entiende usted el rango de castigo que puede recibir por los delitos que está acusado? Yes.
Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
¿Alguna corte lo ha declarado mentalmente incompetente, loco o demente?
No.
No.
Counselor, speaking with your client, do you find him to be mentally competent and able to assist you in his own defense?
Yes, Your Honor, he is mentally competent, Judge, and he pleads not guilty to both charges.
Okay, the court is going to find that Mr. Venegas is mentally competent and accepts his pleas of not guilty on each of these offenses. Okay, and hereby enters them on each. All right, and how much time are you requesting? Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Arispe. I'm going to appoint you on the CR 22-03165-I as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and how much time do you need, counselor?
Probably 2 weeks, Judge, at the most.
Okay, the next, and that'll be for a plea?
More than likely, Judge, I think there may be a nice hold on him. It's not shown on my documents, but he thought there was one.
There is.
Okay, there is an ice hold. The only thing is that in 2 weeks, I won't be here. I wouldn't have another Tuesday jail until the 26th.
That would be fine, Judge.
Okay. April 26th at 1:30. Ms. Castañeda, let him know that it'll be April 26th at 1:30.
Señor Venegas, su próxima corte es el 26 de abril a la 1:30 de la tarde.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused, Your Honor?
You certainly may. Ms. De Luna, your plea is ready, correct?
That is my belief, Your Honor. I did send it to Mr. Lozano and I did get an email that he filed it. However, there was an error on the first page and I don't know if that was corrected. I was able to speak to Supervisor Lozano and she indicated she would speak to ADA Lozano. I don't know, again, if that's what's been done or not.
Okay, Mr. Lozano, on what's your client's name, Ms. De Luna?
And Judge, this is one of Mr. De Luna's cases, and this client's name is Perea, last name Perea, and first name Juan, so it's Juan Jesus Perea, Your Honor. I could give you the case number if necessary.
Okay, no, I have it here. Mr. Lozano, is CR 21-13715-I ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, it's ready to go. I'll take you up shortly. Mr. Alvarez, Attorney Juan Alvarez, do you have a plea or a quick announcement?
I have a quick announcement, Your Honor. It's Sustaita.
Okay, Deputy, can you please bring Carlos Sustaita, Sustaita up?
Yes, ma'am. He's a Spanish speaker.
Okay, thank you. That's number 21 and 22 on the court's docket, CR 21-02286-I, CR 21-08930-I, State of Texas versus Carlos Sustaita.
Yes, Your Honor. It appears that he has a felony case pending. I don't have access to that because I'm not his court-appointed lawyer in a felony case. I don't know who is his court-appointed lawyer. I've looked on the system and it is protected, so I'm assuming that might be some sort of either an assault, family violence, or some sort of sexual assault offense because I do not have access to that information publicly, actually. So since he has a felony case pending, I would ask for more time, Judge, and that way see what they're going to do with a felony case.
Okay, Mr. Lozano, what I'm not asking, well, do you see that there's a felony pending, maybe of a sensitive nature?
Yes, Your Honor, there was a felony pending, but it was resolved. Defendant pled out on March 24th, 2022, but I don't know what the sentence was.
Okay, so you don't know if in that felony plea, they took care of the 2 misdemeanors?
Yes, that's correct. I don't have access to those documents, Your Honor.
Okay, and how much time would you need to get access so that you can update Mr. Alvarez and Ms. Canal?
Right, yeah. See, they were unadjudicated or dismissed.
Your Honor, I can contact the felony prosecutors for more information on this one.
Okay, so we can bring him back. Actually, I don't.
Judge, can you give me 1 second? I'm on his felony case.
Okay, go ahead. If not, we can bring him back on the 12th at 1:30.
Judge, I believe he received TDC time.
So they didn't include any one of these misdemeanors in that plea?
I don't see it, Judge. But if anything, I can. No, Judge, I don't. It's not on here.
Okay.
And that's on CR 164121L.
Can you give me that cause number once again, please? CR what?
Absolutely. CR 164121L.
Okay, and you got TDC time?
Yes.
Okay. I guess I can follow up with whoever the prosecutor is in 464.
Okay, go ahead and find out, because if they didn't take these in, and then they're gonna, TDC has been calling up for them fast.
Okay,
So
I'll
we
take
need to
credit
make sure
accepted.
if he's going to plead a time served, or what is it that he's
Right.
going to do on these 2 cases.
Right. Yes, sir.
And then
I'll get on it immediately. I'm gonna send an email.
Okay, I'm surprised they haven't asked for him already, because this was resolved on the 24th. So
Yeah,
for
that
right
was,
now, I'm gonna put him on April 12th at 1:30.
Yes, Your Honor. At what time?
1:30?
You got it, Your Honor. Thank you. May I be
Okay.
excused?
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, Mr. Jackson, did you get a hold of your client?
I called him, Your Honor, and I sent him a text. Apparently, he hasn't responded. I don't know if he's on there or not.
I don't think he is, and I'm surprised because he, the last time he was, anxious to get it done with, but
Yes.
let's go ahead and wait to see if
Okay.
he does come on.
All right.
All
Thank you,
right,
Judge.
so I have Ms. De Luna that's ready. Mr. Tijerina, are you ready?
Ready, Judge, it's a jail case plea.
Okay, and then that's Alexis Garcia. Deputy, if you can please bring forward Alexis Garcia.
Here he comes, Judge.
And then Mr. Osuna, you have Cuauhtemoc Rodriguez, correct?
Yes, Your Honor, and he will require the services of an interpreter.
That's fine. And is that the only one that you have?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, is Mr. Perea English speaking or Spanish speaking?
English, Your Honor.
Okay, Deputy, can you please have Mr. Alexis Garcia and Cuauhtemoc Rodriguez at the camera?
Yes, ma'am. Cuauhtemoc, aquí. Perea, just wait, just go for this.
Okay, so Ms. Castañeda, Mr. Rodriguez will need right, it's Mr. Rodriguez that needs the services of an interpreter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
Mr. Tijerina, is your client English speaking?
He is, Judge.
All right, perfect.
Mhm.
Okay, Mr. Perea, Mr. Garcia, and Mr. Rodriguez, please raise your right hand.
Por favor, levanta tu
Judge,
mano derecha.
Judge, give me 1 second. Perea's not.
There he is. All right. Now, do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Perea, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Castañeda?
Jura que el testimonio que está a punto de... Jura que el testimonio que está a punto de dar es la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad. Yes.
Okay. Then in CR 21-13715-I, the state of Texas versus Juan Jesus Perea, is that your true and correct name, sir?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, and you're being charged with driving while intoxicated. And Alexis Fernando Garcia in CR 22-01457-I and CR 20-01755-I, is that your true and correct name, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're being charged with driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor, and a second offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Mr. Cuauhtemoc, Cuauhtemoc Rodriguez, in CR 20-08569-I, CR 21-01088-I, CR 21-14009-I, CR 21-14008-I, and CR 21-14010-I. The state of Texas versus Cuauhtemoc Rodriguez, is that your true and correct name?
En el estado de Texas contra Cuauhtemoc Rodríguez, ¿ese es su nombre correcto y verdadero? Yes.
Okay. Now, if you are being charged with a Class A misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 1 year in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction. If you are being charged with a Class B misdemeanor, then a Class B misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 6 months in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction. Do you understand the range of punishment that you can receive for the offense of which you are charged? Mr. Perea, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Castañeda?
Señor Rodríguez, una ofensa menor clase B tiene una multa potencial de hasta 6 meses en la cárcel del condado de Hidalgo y una multa de hasta $2,000 por convicción. Una ofensa menor clase A tiene una multa potencial de hasta 1 año en la cárcel del condado de Hidalgo y una multa de hasta $4,000 por convicción. ¿Entiende usted el rango de castigo que puede recibir por los delitos que está acusado?
Sí.
Yes.
All of you have the right to an attorney and the right to a trial by jury. You can waive one or both of those rights by signing a written document with this court. At this time, I need to ask you, did you have an opportunity to review that document with your attorney before signing it? Mr. Perea, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Garcia, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Castañeda?
Señor Rodríguez, usted tiene el derecho de un abogado y el derecho para un juicio por jurado, pero puede renunciar a uno o a los dos de sus derechos firmando un documento con esta corte. ¿Tuvo usted una oportunidad de revisar esos documentos con su abogado antes de firmar?
Sí.
Yes.
And did each of you understand that when you signed that document, you were waiving your right to a trial by jury? Mr. Perea, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, yes or no?
Yes.
And Mr. Rodriguez, Ms. Castañeda?
¿Entiende usted que cuando firmó ese documento que estaba renunciando a su derecho de un juicio por jurado? ¿Sí o no? Yes.
Okay. And did each of you understand? Oh no, then the court will accept your waiver of trial by jury. Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane? Mr. Perea, yes or no?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia?
No.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Señor Rodríguez, ¿alguna corte lo ha declarado mentalmente incompetente, loco o demente?
No.
No.
Okay. Counselors, in speaking with your clients, do you find them to be mentally competent and able to assist you in their own defense? Ms. De Luna, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Tejerina?
Yes, for Mr. Garcia, Judge.
And Mr. Osuna?
Mr. Rodriguez is competent, Your Honor.
Okay, then the court will make a finding that the defendants before the court are mentally competent and able to assist their attorneys in their own defense. Do each of you further understand that if the punishment that I assess does not exceed what's recommended by the state, you will need this court's permission if you decide to file an appeal? Mr. Perea, do you understand that? Yes or no?
I do understand. Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Garcia?
Yes.
And Ms. Castañeda?
Señor Rodríguez, ¿entiende que si el castigo que voy a evaluar, si el castigo no excede la recomendación del Estado, usted va a necesitar el permiso de esta corte si usted decide presentar una apelación? ¿Entiende eso sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you further understand that the court does not have to accept the state's recommendation? Mr. Perea, yes or no?
I understand. Yes.
Mr. Garcia?
Yes.
Ms. Castañeda, translate, please.
Señor Rodríguez, ¿también entiende que la corte no tiene que aceptar la recomendación del Estado? ¿Sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
At this time, I need to ask you if you're a U.S. citizen. Mr. Perea?
I am not.
Okay, and Mr. Garcia?
Yes.
And Ms. Castañeda, please translate.
Señor Rodríguez, ¿es usted ciudadano americano?
Presidente.
A resident.
If you are not a U.S. citizen, then entering a plea or no contest will result in your deportation, exclusion, or admission from our country and denial of naturalization under U.S. federal law. And do you understand the consequences of your plea today, Mr. Perea?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
And knowing and understanding the consequences of your plea, you do still wish to move forward today, sir?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Ms. Castañeda, please translate for Mr. Rodriguez.
Si usted no es ciudadano americano, entonces esta petición va a resultar en su deportación, expulsión de este país y negación de la naturalización. Sabiendo las consecuencias de su quiere proceder hoy con su petición.
Señor Rodriguez, Mr. Rodriguez, yes or no?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Then in CR 21-13715-I, the state of Texas versus Juan Jesus Perea to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor, sir. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
In CR 22-01457-I, the state of Texas versus Alexis Fernando Garcia to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
In CR 20-01755-I, the state of Texas versus Alexis Fernando Garcia to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
In CR 20-08569-I, the state of Texas versus Cuauhtemoc Rodriguez to the offense of harassment, a Class B misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
En el estado de Texas contra Cuauhtémoc Rodríguez por un caso de acoso, un delito menor clase B, ¿cómo se declara? ¿Culpable o no culpable?
Culpable.
Guilty.
NCR 21-01-088-I, NCR 21-14009-I, NCR 21-14008-I, the state of Texas versus Cuauhtémoc Rodriguez to the offense of harassment, a Class B misdemeanor. How does he plea on each of those three cases? Guilty or not guilty?
En el estado de Texas contra Cuauhtémoc Rodríguez por 3 casos de acoso, ¿cómo se declara? ¿Culpable o no culpable?
Culpable.
Guilty.
NCR 21-14010-I, the state of Texas versus Cuauhtémoc Rodriguez to the offense of violation of a bond or protective order, a Class A misdemeanor. How does he plead? Guilty or not guilty?
En el estado de Texas contra Cuauhtémoc Rodríguez por una ofensa de violación de fianza o orden de protección, una ofensa menor clase A, ¿cómo se declara? ¿Culpable o no culpable?
Culpable.
Guilty.
And are you each making your plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Mr. Garcia
Yes.
and Mr. Rodriguez?
Señor Rodríguez, ¿está usted declarando culpable, libre y voluntariamente?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, then the court will accept your pleas as being freely and voluntarily given. I will call for state's evidence at this time.
Your Honor, state offers plea documents and offense reports as State's Exhibit 1, notification and certification of defendant's right of appeal as State's Exhibit 2, waiver of Article 3914 disclosures as State's Exhibit 3, waiver of risk and needs assessment as State's Exhibit 4. State would also request defense counsel stipulate to the venue and jurisdiction of this honorable court and stipulate that the evidence that has been filed is sufficient to corroborate a plea of guilty.
Okay,
No
any
obje-
objection?
No objection and so stipulated for Mr. Perea, Your Honor.
Mr. Tijerina,
No objection for Mr. Garcia, Judge.
Mr. Osuna?
No objections on behalf of Mr. Rodriguez, Your Honor.
There being no objections from defense counsel as to the exhibits are hereby admitted and approved. NCR 21-13715-I, the state of Texas versus Juan Jesus Perea. It is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged, and what is the state's recommendation?
Your Honor, the state recommends a $100 fine, court cost 145 days, Hidalgo County Jail, credit for 145.
Okay, Ms. DeLuna, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor, at this time, we would ask for court costs and any fees to be waived. Mr. Perea he just signed a 2-year plea agreement with the felony and will be going to TDC. I also want to thank the court and the ADA's office for helping us get this done today and still get us through at 1:30, given that I just sent that over to Mr. Lozano.
Okay, the court is going to grant defense counsel's request and waive his fine and his court costs. The rest of the recommendation I will follow. And we acknowledge your gratefulness. Okay, all right. So Mr. Perea, best of luck to you, sir.
Judge, that's all I have. May I be excused, Your Honor?
You certainly may.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, and CR 22-01457-I. And in CR 20-01755-I, the state of Texas versus Alexis Fernando Garcia. It is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged on each of those offenses. And what is the state's recommendation?
Your Honor, on CR 22-01457-I, the state recommends a $100 fine, court cost 180 days, Hidalgo County Jail, probated for 2 years, an alcohol class, defensive driving class, drug education class, mobile alcohol monitoring device for 1 year, the MAD impact panel, and 90 days Texas driver's license suspension. Your Honor, the recommendation is going to be the same for both DWIs. Excuse me.
Okay,
And in exchange,
go ahead.
and in exchange for this plea, the state will be dismissing CR 19-08321-I.
Mr. Tijerina, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Judge, yes, my client will be going to safe P, Your Honor. It was a condition that was added to his felony probation, so we'd ask the court to postpone until he returns, obviously, the mobile device. We would also ask the court for consideration on the fine and the court cost, and to run the driver's license suspension along with the administrative suspension.
Okay, the court is going to grant defense counsel's request. I'm going to waive the fine and the court costs. The sentences will also run concurrent. There will be one supervisory fee. The 90 days Texas driver's license suspension will run concurrent with any administrative suspension assessed against the defendant. And the mobile alcohol monitoring device will need to be obtained 48 business hours after he is released from safety.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Did anything else?
No, Judge, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Garcia, do you have a phone number when you're released, sir?
Your Honor, what about on the car? Where do I get the machine at?
I'm sorry?
I don't have a motor vehicle. I don't own a vehicle.
Okay, it's a mobile alcohol monitoring device, which means it's a handheld device. You don't need a vehicle, but once you get out of that safety program, then they're going to give you, you can contact probation if they don't give you the list there, but you'll be given a list of vendors, but you have 48 business hours to do it, okay?
So it's not installed in the mobile?
No, sir, that's an interlock device.
Okay, ma'am.
This is a handheld. It literally fits in your hand.
It's the little one that I have to record myself?
Yes. And your face has to come out in the video.
All right.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
So do you have a phone number off the top of your head?
402 area code 779-9152.
Okay, sir. Best of luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I have nothing further. May I be excused?
You certainly may, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. CR 20-08569-I, CR 21-01088-I, CR 21-14009-I, CR 21-14008-I, and CR 21-14010-I, the state of Texas versus Cuauhtemoc Rodriguez. It is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged on each of those offenses. And what is the state's recommendation?
Your Honor, on CR 20-08569I, the state recommends a $100 fine, court cost, 1 day Hidalgo County Jail credit for 1. On CR 21-01088I, the state recommends a $100 fine, court cost, 6 days Hidalgo County Jail credit for 6. On CR 21-14009I, the state recommends a $100 fine, court cost, 115 days Hidalgo County Jail credit for 115. And the same goes for CR 21-14008I and CR 21-14010I. The recommendation is the same as CR 21-14009I.
Okay, Mr. Osuna, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor, my client was sentenced to TDC. He's going to serve 7 years. We're humbly asking for any consideration on fine and court costs.
Okay, fine and court costs will be waived
Yes, Your Honor.
on each of those cases.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Rodriguez, then best of luck to you. Ms. Castañeda?
Señor Rodríguez, la corte le desea buena suerte.
Okay, he's excused.
Puede retirarse.
Okay, Mr. Jackson, that Zoom, I'm sorry, Mr. Osuna, anything else?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Jackson, that Zoom user is a Spanish-speaking female. So it is not your client. I don't know what to say.
Judge, the only thing I can presume is that I know he works out of Louisiana and he's wasn't able to get this. And I can get back to this court this afternoon, Judge. I apologetically apologize on behalf of my client and respectfully request 24 hours to get a hold of him.
Okay, go ahead and try to get a hold of him. And then because our next plea date via Zoom would be April 12th at 1:30.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
I will touch base with your staff this afternoon, Judge. But
right.
April 12th at 1:30. Thank you, Judge. You are the best.
Thank you. Take care.
You have a wonderful
Okay.
day, Judge.
You too. All right, Deputy, if you can please bring up Guillermo Sanchez.
Yes, ma'am, here he comes.
Okay, Miss Sosa, Maria Montalvo, is she your Spanish-speaking client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, she's the one on the Zoom. She
Yes.
does not have to turn on her camera.
Okay.
Ms. Castañeda, can you please let Ms. Montalvo know just to unmute herself, but she does not have to turn on her camera.
Señora Montalvo, le puede poner el micrófono, pero no tiene que prender su cámara.
Okay.
Mr. Sanchez is the Spanish speaker as well, Judge.
Yes, sir. Mr. Vega, are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm ready.
Okay, so I'm going to call, let me call F 2335-20-9 in the matter of the marriage of Guillermo Sanchez and Maria Montalvo. Announcements by the attorneys.
Oscar Vega, behalf for the respondent, Guillermo Sanchez.
Ashley Sosa, Your Honor, here for Maria Montalvo.
Okay. So this was a request by you, Mr. Vega, correct?
Correct, Judge. I went to go see him and he had a completely different story than what was testified to. So I, bunch of caution, let's get him on or have him tell their side.
Okay, so then what are we, the original agreement, Ms. Sosa, can you please go ahead just to refresh my memory? Let me know what was the original, not necessarily agreement, but what was put on the record as to the division of property and anything like that.
Yes, Your Honor. At the last hearing where Mr. Sanchez didn't appear, we had requested that Ms. Montalvo keep the home and the lot where the home is on, and she would continue to make payments on the debt that is owed on that, as well as for her to keep the vehicle, the Malibu vehicle that she currently has in her possession. Everything else would be just whatever each party has that they would keep. And as far as custody and visitation, we were asking that my client keep be named sole managing conservator of the children, Your Honor, and that Mr. Sanchez be named possessory conservator with no visitations ordered at this time. And lastly, we requested that the divorce be granted on grounds of cruelty due to the domestic violence.
Okay, and how much are, how old are the children? Can you refresh my memory?
Yes, Your Honor. The children here are, let me just pull it up real quick. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
We have 3 children. We have one that is 18 years old. She's still in high school. Another girl that's 14. A boy that is 8.
And is the oldest a female or a male?
A female, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Vega, what is your client incarcerated for?
Judge, he is incarcerated now. He's pending trial on an assault case filed by the petitioner. He said that he has a misdemeanor that he pled to last year, and he just wanted to get out of jail, so he pled to it. This one is a felony. He said he wants a trial. He actually is the one that called the police on this particular case, and unfortunately, he was the one that was arrested.
Okay.
So I just need to, I was still halfway through the cross on petitioner when we asked for a continuance. If I could, maybe I was done with her, Judge, I'd correct myself. I think I was done with her because I need to have my client, just put him on, let him tell his side of the story so you can hear both sides.
Okay. All right, Ms. Castaneda, please ask Mr. Sanchez to raise his right hand.
Señor Sánchez, por favor, levanta su mano derecha.
Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Jura que el testimonio que está a punto de dar es la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad.
Juro que es la verdad.
He needs to answer yes or no.
Necesita contestar sí o no. Yes.
Okay. Now, before we get started, let him know, is he objecting to his wife keeping the home, lot, and paying the debt on that home and lot?
Señor Sánchez, ¿usted está en objeción de que la señora se quede con la casa y el solar?
Yo lo que quiero pelear es que me devuelvan a los niños porque ella no está, los niños no están bien con ella.
I just want to fight the custody of the children because the children are not good with her.
Okay. So is that the only thing that he is wanting to contest, is the custody of the children, or does he
Yes.
want to contest the property division?
¿Esa es la única cosa que usted quiere contestar o también va a objecionar con la propiedad de la casa?
Y de la propiedad se la pueden dejar a mis niños. Ellos ahorita, ellos no quieren vivir ahorita con la mamá. Han tenido
They don't want to
problemas.
live with their mom.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give you an opportunity to just let him put what he wants on the record, but it's pretty difficult, as you would know, Mr. Vega, for him to actually have the custody, care, and control of these children, because he is incarcerated and his future is uncertain right now as to when he's going to be able to get into trial for that felony assault. But I'll let you put whatever you need to preserve your case
Yes, sir.
that
I
you need to put on the record. Go ahead, he's sworn in, just question him slowly so that Ms. Castaneda can translate for you.
Yes, sir. Mr. Sanchez, just so you know, the property belongs to you and your wife. So my question to you is, do you want half the house to be in your name to be sold and you divide the proceeds?
Señor Sánchez, la propiedad pertenece a usted y a su esposa y usted quiere que la propiedad se venda su parte.
Sí, pero también ahí en la cuenta ella sacó $50,000 que teníamos ahorrado para los niños.
Yes,
So,
but she also took
esa propiedad,
Hold on. Please instruct him to let you talk. He cannot continue talking. So if we're going to translate this to make a clean record, he needs to answer your question. Answer the translation, and then he can go ahead and
Señor Sánchez, me necesita dejar terminar lo que le estoy traduciendo y contestar lo que le estoy preguntando. Okay.
Okay. Mr. Sanchez, so do you want the house to be sold and you be given half the proceeds?
Usted quiere que la casa se venda y que le den la mitad de lo que le corresponde.
Sí.
Yes.
Do you also want half the $50,000 that she withdrew from the savings account for the children?
También quiere la mitad de los $50,000 que ella retiró para los niños.
Sí.
In which
Yes.
bank were those funds at?
¿En qué banco estaba ese dinero?
En West Fargo.
En Wells Fargo.
Okay. Is there any other assets that you want to divide?
¿Hay algo más?
Tenemos un negocio que vendemos tacos, hamburguesas. El negocio todavía está vigente.
We have a business that sells tacos and hamburgers.
What's the name of that business?
¿Qué es el nombre del negocio?
Se llamaba Montalvo. Ahora que me encerraron, ella le cambió el nombre.
It was called Montalvo. When they locked me up, she changed the name.
Okay. Do you want half of that business?
¿También quiere la mitad de ese negocio?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Now, concerning your children, sir, we had a discussion and I believe you mentioned that your wife was incarcerated because she threatened to kill herself and the children. Is that correct?
Tocante a los niños, usted dijo que la señora también estuvo en la cárcel porque ella se quería matar.
Sí.
Yes.
Quería quemar también los niños en la casa.
And she wanted to burn the children in the house.
What happened to that case?
¿Y qué pasó con ese caso?
A ella la encerraron y a ella la removieron de la casa por 2 meses.
They locked her up and they removed her from the home. ¿Cuántos meses, señor?
2 meses.
For 2 months.
Pero ella se agarró 3 meses porque ella se fue para San Antonio y Corpus.
Okay.
But
And who
she
was
did
taking?
3 months because she went to San Antonio.
Okay. And who was taking care of your children during that period?
¿Y quién estaba cuidando a los niños durante ese periodo?
En ese momento me los dieron a mí, me los dio CPS, yo los tenía.
At that time, CPS gave them to me.
Do you believe your wife to be capable of taking care of the children now?
¿Usted cree que su esposa es
Es-
con capacidad de cuidar los niños a hoy?
no.
No.
Do you think it's in the children's best interest that that the children reside with her?
¿Y usted cree que es en el mejor interés de que los niños vivan con ella?
No.
No.
Are your children in any danger?
¿Están en peligro sus hijos?
Sí.
Yes.
Is there anything else that I missed, Mr. Sanchez, concerning assets or your children?
¿Hay algo más que no me ha dicho tocante la propiedad y los niños?
No, nada más lo que tenemos eso. Ella cuando me los dio CPS, ella se metió a la casa, echó mentiras para quitármelos. Dijo que yo fumaba, me drogaba, me hicieron el text y salió mentira.
Sir, when they gave me back the children, she got into the house with lies. She said that I smoked and she lied.
Is that all, Mr. Sanchez?
¿Es todo, señor Sánchez?
Ahorita está viviendo un hombre ahí con ella, anda con otro. So,
Right now, there's a man living with her there.
En Año Nuevo a mi hija le dio de tomar bebida alcohólica y a mi hijo tuvieron un problema con su novio y con otro que ella tiene y también tiene otro caso que están en corte.
In New Year's, she gave alcohol to my daughter.
Ella dejó que su novio golpeara a mi hijo y todavía
Her
está.
boyfriend beat my child.
Okay, is there anything else?
¿Algo más?
Mi hija cuando estaba tomada trataron de abusar de ella.
My daughter,
Ella
when she was drunk, they tried to abuse of her.
Ella no hizo nada, yo busqué ayuda, me dijeron que no me podían ayudar porque yo estaba encerrado. Alguien tenía que hablar de afuera para poner cargos o
I
hablar de
seek help, but they told me they couldn't do anything because I was here.
Your Honor, I'd like to object to this as hearsay. He wasn't there.
That'll be sustained. Okay, so then he already put pretty much what he's looking at and what his side or whatever side of the story is. And have you all discussed any of these things? I know it's difficult when a person is incarcerated, but now that you know more or less this is out there, Ms. Sosa, is this all new to you, or did you know of some of it, or?
No, Your Honor, the only thing that I do know about was the allegation that Mr. Sanchez made against my client regarding the burning of the house. I can put up my client so she can give us what happened on her end. CPS case was dismissed and no charges were filed.
Okay, so honestly, I really think that at this point it's premature to have a contested final divorce hearing, because I would think that you all would want to do a little bit of discovery as to what proof there is on the $50,000 as to.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did it really, what time period was it taken out? Where was it spent? Was it used on the kid? I'm not going to tell you all what to do on your case, but
yes, definitely.
You all know what I'm leading to. So I think, you all need to discuss that. And I'm not going to, obviously this, I'm not going to pronounce the divorce final today. I'm going to give you all an opportunity to, in essence, work up your case.
Yes.
And so that you all can go ahead and maybe now you kind of know a little bit of where Mr. Vega's client's position is, and Mr. Vega may know some of this stuff for the first time because it's kind of difficult to get out there all the way to the jail. So you may.
Yes, I understand.
Not know some of those things. So I'll give you all an opportunity to do that. And what we'll do is I'm going to go ahead and set this for a status hearing instead. And then you all can tell me at that time whether or not you're going to be ready for something soon. And not much can be done in way of mediation or anything like that, because he's in there unless something he posts bail on that felony. But let me see. I'm going to have y'all come back for a status hearing on this divorce on June the 7th at 1:30. And that'll give you some time also to either conduct formal or informal discovery, whatever you all choose.
Thank you,
Yes.
Your Honor.
Okay?
Yes.
All right, so Ms. Castañeda, let him know that his attorney will be in contact with him and he'll return on this divorce on June 7th at 1:30.
Señor Sánchez, su abogado va a estar en contacto con usted y la próxima corte para este divorcio va a ser el día 7 de junio a la 1:30 de la tarde.
Thank you. Your Honor. That's all I
Anything
have.
else?
That's all I have on this case, Judge.
Okay,
I have nothing either, Your Honor. Maybe please be excused.
yes, and Ms. Castañeda, can you please let Ms. Montalvo know that she's excused as well, and if she has any questions, she can contact her attorney.
Señora Montalvo, usted también se puede retirar y si tiene alguna pregunta se puede contactar con su abogada.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so
Your Honor.
Mr. Ortegon, is your client Jose Luis Hernandez incarcerated, or is that him next to you?
No, that's sorry, Judge. It's because I'm in a mediation and I didn't think I was going to need to be present, but I saw that the cases have not been closed. So out of an abundance of caution, I apologize for being so late and underdressed. I just wanted to make sure because these cases were unadjudicated. My client signed up for, I believe it's 2 or 3 years. I don't have the file in front of me, but he did sign up for TDC out of the felony charges. There were 7 pending felonies, Your Honor. And we were able to accomplish, but these charges were unadjudicated. I saw that the orders were filed, but that they had not been signed. So I just wanted to log on out of an abundance of caution.
Okay, so is that Mr. Hernandez there with you, Deputy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Lozano, do you have an announcement on this case?
No, Your Honor, I need to review the felony paperwork. There's a note that's saying that he got charged 6 years to TDC. I'll go ahead and talk to the felony prosecutors that are assigned to this case to see what we could do with the misdemeanors.
It's not 6 years TDC, and it should be Mr. Hernandez. Do you remember off the top of your head what was it, 2 or 3 years?
2 years.
2 years. You're sure that's what you signed up for? 2 years.
Yes, Mr. Ortegon.
Yes, actually, they're state jail felonies, Your Honor. One was a 3rd degree, so they are 2 years TDC. And not just that, Your Honor, the 398th District Court has already filed the motions to unadjudicate these charges. So I don't really know what the ADA would exactly have to look into, being that the motions have already been filed by Michelle Puig.
Okay, Mr. Lozano, are you showing that on your end? I'm not logged into mine, that's why.
Am I showing what, Your Honor?
Well, because the order should have already been filed by the 398.
I could pull it up, Judge, if I can have it.
Your Honor, maybe
Go ahead.
if they are on file, Judge, and they are filed by the state, it doesn't specify who filed them, Judge, but given the template, it looks like, but it's by the state, Your Honor.
Okay.
We did set them up just for clarification, so it could be on the record. But the orders are filed on all 3 cases.
Okay. So then that should be taken care of then, Mr. Ortegon.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Mr. Lozano, you're showing 6 years?
No, that's incorrect. It was a 2 years state jail, Texas Department of Corrections, jail credit 225.
Okay, I was getting a little mini panic attack there. All right, that is standing, Judge. We'll be on the lookout to make sure that gets signed, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank
I
you,
appreciate-
Mr. Hernandez.
Always a pleasure practicing in front of you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Judge.
Thank you. Okay, let me just check with the deputy that there's nobody else. Deputy, do you have anybody else there?
Yes, ma'am. I have 2 more.
Okay,
I have Capatillo Juan.
I don't see that I have. Do you all see that anywhere?
Number 3, Judge.
I'm sorry?
Number 3.
It was
Oh,
Mr.
okay,
Rodriguez.
yes, he was reset because he has a felony. What's the new date, Mr. Damian?
June 7th, Judge, at 1:30.
June 7th at 1:30, deputy.
Yes, ma'am. And then I have Garza Jose.
Okay, his attorney has not checked in. However, Mr. Lozano, do you show that he still has a felony pending?
Who is that, Your Honor?
Number 7 through 10, Jose Alfredo Marichalar Garza.
Yes, Your Honor. He has a felony pending. It's set for April 20th, 2022.
Judge, we can set them for the 26th of April, Your Honor.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. April 26th at 1:30, Deputy.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. That's all we have, Judge. May we be excused?
You certainly may.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, you too. Okay, and I believe that concludes all our docket, except for we just have number 30 as a nice side, correct? Mr. Damien, if you can call out that name 3 times?
Yes, ma'am. Michael Kevin Perez, Michael Perez.
No,
Michael
no,
Perez.
he showed up. I said number 30.
I'm sorry. Samuel Torres, Samuel Torres, Samuel Torres.
Okay, that defendant's name being called out 3 times, what does the state?
Your Honor, state requests that a judgment nice be granted to keep you issued and all bonds forfeited if there's no show defendant.
Okay, that'll be so granted. Okay, that concludes this afternoon's docket. Let me stop the light.